Have you ever started something with excitement only to quit a little while after? Whether it's a business, a goal, a YouTube channel, or maybe a plan about the future. Tonight, that's what we're talking about. Why so many people quit what they start. All right. Welcome, welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome to the live. Welcome to Just a Thought. Tonight, this is a live discussion where we reflect, where we talk honestly, and hopefully we encourage someone not to quit. Okay? So wherever you're tuning in from, welcome. Type and let me know where you're watching from. And as I mentioned before, the topic we are looking on tonight, why so many people quit what they start. It's a live discussion. Tune in as you come in. I encourage you to like the live, share it with someone. And a matter of fact, ask yourself the question, have you ever started something and in no time you quit? Now, if you're joining us live, go ahead and like the stream as I said before, share it with someone, okay? And let me know in the chat where you're watching from. And here's the main question for the night. Why do so many people quit soon after they start? Okay? And let me be honest with you. This topic isn't coming from a place of judgment. It's coming from experience, okay? Speaking from a personal point of view, okay? Personal point of view. Because guess what? I've started more than one YouTube channels before this one that we're on now. And I quit. Yeah, for whatever reason. And I'm going to get into some reasons why a lot of people quit when they just started out something. All right, so welcome everyone. Thanks for joining the live tonight. The topic we're looking on, why do so many people quit what they start? Type in the chat and let me know that you're here. Tell me if you have ever started something and quit shortly after. All right, because we find out that this is a problem that a lot of us face. We start something and then guess what? In no time we get discouraged and we give up. That probably can be a business, can be a goal that you've set, you started. For example, we've started 2026 and a lot of people make New Year's resolution. And as soon as they make the New Year's resolution, it might take them down to about January, February, March. All right. Blessing, Winston, Chronicles, blessing, blessing, welcome, welcome. Right? A lot of people start their New Year's resolution and it takes them down to about March, April, and by it quint, they give up. A matter of fact, we're not perfect and it happens to the best of us. Okay. And as I said earlier, I am not here on this live to speak to you from a place of judgment. I'm not judging anyone because, as I mentioned earlier in the live, I would have started so many things sometime. And guess what? In time past. And guess what? I have quit. But guess what? The remedy is here. I've found the solution. And I am going to share this with you tonight. Share this live with somebody as you come in. Kindly press like on the live. Okay. And as I said before, if you're joining us, go ahead, like the stream, share it, and let me know where in the world you are watching from. All right. So for those who are just coming on, the topic is why do so many people quit as soon as they start? Okay. And I'm speaking from personal perspective tonight. This is not my first YouTube channel. I've started my channel, a matter of fact, about 3 channels before, and somewhere along the line I quit. But learning these strategies, learning from this, I would have made the adjustment, and here I am for the long haul. Okay, I am here for the long haul, and I know somebody on this live tonight will, get something from this. Be encouraged. And a matter of fact, if you're on the live and you have any suggestions, or if you have started anything in the past and would have quit, you know, you can state it. Feel free to state it in the chat, and state some suggestions as well of what you think others can do, to stay consistent. All right, to stay consistent. So not because when I quit my YouTube channels before, it was not because I wasn't capable. But guess what? It was because life happens. And life happens with all of us. Whether it be discouragement or sometimes I might just, never have the things structured properly. Okay? But if that's you, you're not alone. If that has ever happened to you, you are not alone. All right? Well, let me ask you a question though. Type in the chat. Have you ever started something and quit right after? All right. So if you're hearing me, you're in this chat. You can type yes, you can type no. Come on, let's have a discussion. Okay. Welcome wherever you're tuning in from. Welcome. So let's look at some factors why we think people quit so soon. You started something and in no time you quit. Okay. Sometimes, guess what? It can be unrealistic expectations. So when you started out so well, but you have some expectation. For example, you're gonna start a business, and you started the business and you expect to make a lump sum in no time. Okay. And guess what? That's not really how it goes, because guess what? Sometimes you start a business and it starts slow. For example, you might start a little shop, and sometimes you're there for the entire day. Sometimes nothing sells. Sometimes it's just a few $100, but you have to be in it for the long haul. So some of us, we set unrealistic expectations. Many of us quit because we expect quick results. For example, a YouTube channel is not a quick result thing. Okay, a YouTube channel is not a quick result thing. You've got to be in it for the long haul. Not saying you can't blow up. You have persons on YouTube that blows up with their first video. It just go viral, and God bless them. But you have those of us who have to be in it for the long haul. You post a video, you post several videos, and no views. You have to study the algorithm, study until you find your niche, and then you find the right title, the right thumbnail, and all of that. So you have to be in it for the long haul. You cannot have unrealistic expectations. Okay. And guess what? When you have unrealistic expectation, when results don't come fast enough, guess what come in? Discouragement sets in. Okay. So do you expect faster result when you start a business? Right? Maybe that's how you started out, expect a quick result. Well, guess what? You have to be in it for the long haul. Okay, so one of the things we don't want to do is to start with unrealistic expectation. Secondly, let's look at consistency. You have to be consistent. Lack of consistency will pose a problem. All right. So consistency isn't excitement, but it is necessary. Whatever you're gonna start, if you don't want to finish, you have to, or finish too soon before you see result. You have to be consistent. All right. A lot of people don't fail because they are not talented. A lot of people talented, and it's not because they are not talented why they fail. They fail because they are not consistent. It's in the YouTube space. You have everybody have their crowd on the YouTube space. In the YouTube space, if you're a chef, if you're a barber, if you are, a matter of fact, I've seen videos where people say you don't even have to have any talent. You just turn on your camera and just do you. And can I tell you, you will, if you're consistent with that, you will find your niche. YouTube will send your video, because all YouTube wants to know, YouTube just wants to know that somebody stays on your video for a particular time period. And once the algorithm realizes that this person stays on your content or on your video for a particular time. You know what YouTube does? Anything you post again in that niche, YouTube is going to send it to that particular phone or that particular tablet or computer. So your niche is out there. All right, be encouraged. Your niche is out there, whether you're an hairdresser, an artist, an entertainer, whatsoever your talent is, your niche is out there. You just have to be consistent. A lot of talented people started out, and guess what? They stop along the way because they did not see the result when they just started out and they give up. So let me say this again because this is important. A lot of people don't fail because they are not talented. They fail because they are not consistent. But here's a question. Do you think consistency is harder than motivation? Let me hear what you have to say about that. All right, let me look at some of these comments. I just had this same discussion on my previous live. Very good, very good, very good. I love that. You know, sometimes people quit because the expectation they had were too high in the beginning. I agree with you, right? I agree with you. The expectations they have will, and a matter of fact, nothing is wrong in having high expectations, but you also have to have the mindset that even if you don't see that high expectation, you're going to continue because any business you're going to start, if it's a YouTube channel, if it's another social media account, just tell yourself, I am going to give myself at least a few years, to start to see result. If you're making an house, a literal house, you have got to dig a deep foundation. That house not just start today and finish tomorrow, it's a long process. All right, Haley Thompson, welcome to the live. Good to have you. Hello, hello, hello. Also, you can tell us where you're watching from. You can like the live and share it with someone. You can see the discussion question. Why do so many people quit so soon after they would have started something? And guess what, my people, my lovely viewers and subscribers? It happens to the best of us. And we are going through some causes, some factors that would have caused persons to quit or to quit before time or to quit too early. And we've looked at unrealistic expectations. We also looked at lack of consistency, and that's where we are currently for those who are just joining. And I asked the question, do you think consistency is harder than motivation? That's the question I'm asking. Because guess what? You can be motivated now, all right? And then by tomorrow you're demotivated. Worse when you're not seeing the numbers going up. All right. So you have to be consistent, especially if it's a YouTube channel. Consistency, consistency, consistency. And guess what? You don't have to agree with all that I'm saying because on this channel, I just share my thoughts. And as you said, the channel name, just a thought. You can agree, you can disagree, but let's have a discussion. All right, another factor that can cause one not to or cause one to give up early is discouragement from people or from numbers. All right, discouragement from people or from numbers. What if you're a designer and you design something and you show it to a family member? You might show it to a friend, a co-worker, and they said, oh, what that? That look like foolishness. Where you come from with that? That now go nowhere. Let me tell you, you have to be someone that encourages yourself. If it looks good to you, the possibility is there is someone else out there in the world that it's going to look good to also. So you can't watch negative comments and negative feedbacks. All right, spread it to a different audience. Okay, spread it to a different group. All right. And guess what? Sometimes when you're even doing a business, you're gonna open a business, you're gonna launch something. You can't really tell everybody your business, because some people will see the idea and know that it is a good idea and it can work, and they discourage you and tell you that it can't work. So when they leave where you are, they same one put that idea into play and start to make millions from it. So you just have to be consistent. You can't tell everybody your business. You know, as you would normally say in Jamaica, you can't tell everybody your business. For those who are joining the live, welcome, welcome, welcome. As you can see, the topic, why do so many people quit so soon? And if you're on this live and you have ever started something and quit before you start to see result, I'm happy that you're here, because when this live is ended, I believe you're going to be motivated and get some strategies we can put in place, to go on or to start again, because that's the whole aim of this discussion. All right, so another factor, discouragement. And discouragement can come from people, discouragement can come from results or the numbers that you see. All right, sometimes it is in the comments, sometimes it is in the views, sometimes it's silence. Nothing is happening. You have a YouTube channel and you don't see nothing happening on it. Your videos not getting any views and you get so discouraged. It's all about research, research. It's all about testing, testing, testing. Test different things. Try to find your niche. All right. So look at this now. So it can come in silence, right? You post and nobody responds. All right. So that can make any one of us feel like quitting. Let me read another comment on the screen. Motivation is internal. Okay. I like that. So motivation is internal. If you believe in what you're doing, you will be motivated to keep pushing towards your goals, which leads to consistency. I agree totally, totally, totally with that. Let me read this another one. You need to have a plan. Oh, yes. And as well on what you're trying to accomplish. So true. You cannot start something and go in it blindly. There must be a plan. There must be a plan. All right. There must be a plan. There must be even a backup plan also. So discouragement, all right, from people and from numbers can really cause you not to give up early, to give up too early. And sometimes, guess what? The moment you plan to give up is right before your breakthrough. Right before you get your breakthrough, that's when you decide to. All right. Let me know if you can hear me now. Let me know if you can hear me now. Winston Chronicles, thank you so much for that. My mic ran dead a while ago. So sorry, my humble apology. Thank you for letting me know that. All right, sound is back on. I turned on the other mic. Let me hope the battery life will last. I thank you so much for that. As I was saying, viewers and subscribers, thank you so much for that, Chronicles. As I was saying, when you have a YouTube channel or you're on the platform, any one of the social media platforms, negative comments can rock your world, man. Discourage you in a way that you believe, guess what you're doing has no value when you put in so much time, when you put in so much work. Okay. And as I said before, not sure if my mic went at that time, is that recently I got a negative comment on one of my videos. And man, this person gave it to me pure negativity, pure negativity. You know, what is this foolishness? And I should not put this type of thing on the internet and use my time to do. And I said, wow. And if I wasn't resilient, if I wasn't, self-willed, and if I wasn't strong and prepare my mind for this, I would have packed up and I would have gone. But guess what? I'm still here. I'm still trying. Okay. I might be going up to 4,000 subscribers soon. And guess what? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of sacrifice. And I'm not giving up. And if you're on this live, you don't reach 1,000 subscribers as yet, continue to press, continue to push, continue to put in the work. As I said, the world is big. Someone will find your video. YouTube algorithm will send your video in a particular place in the world that people will love your niche, love your channel, love what you're doing, love what you're saying. Don't give up too soon. That's the whole aim of this discussion. And when you get negative comments, sometimes even on my channel, I've seen a lot of negative comments. And guess what? I do not delete them, I do not. Sometimes people say, why don't you delete the negative comments? Yes, I have the power to delete them, but I did not, or I do not, because I said to myself, people have their freedom to say what they want. And that is why I always ask persons to just to be respectful. And secondly, if someone sees that negative comment, it can spark a discussion because other people, sometimes I don't even have to address it in the comment section. Other people would come and correct it or comment on it, and you have so it keeps the comment section active. Okay, but I do ask that people keep it respectful. So discouragement from people, discouragement from numbers. You're not seeing the numbers going up on YouTube. Don't give up. Continue to press, continue to put in the work. A lot of late nights, a lot of sacrifices. And guess what? One day you will be victorious. Just keep on pressing. Okay? Keep on pressing. Keep on pressing. All right. So when you don't see the numbers going up, when you don't get the encouragement, that can make any one of us feel like quitting. But the question is, has discouragement ever made you stop trying? That's the question I want to ask. Has discouragement ever made you feel like you want to stop trying? Okay. Let's look at another thing, factor that can cause us to give up too easily. Poor time management. All right, so we touched poor time management already, and then we touched comparing yourself already. All right, so don't ever compare yourself with others. Whatever gift, whatever talent God has given to you, work on that gift, master that gift, perfect that gift, and put your stuff out there. Each video you make, okay, try to perfect the next video more than the one you put out before. And with you, by using that strategy, you will become more, you fine tune your craft even more each time you do that. So each video post, you watch it and look at what you could do better and make the adjustment in the next video. But let me ask this, right? And I really want you to answer honestly. What did you start and what has caused you to quit? As you come on the live, can I ask you to just press like on the live? Can I ask you just to share it out? All right. And this question is for you. What have you started and quit? And what had caused you to quit? If you don't mind and you want to share it with us on the live, please type it in the chat. All right. So now that we've looked on, yeah, some of us, yeah, thin skin, yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, some people, boy, may I tell you, can I interpret it that you're saying when you're thin skin, you won't make it on in the social media world. Once you're thin skin, you cannot make it in the social media world because trust me, people are gonna throw negativity at you. All right. So now that we've looked on some factors that can cause one to, can cause one to quit easily or to give up before they start seeing results. Let's look at some solutions now because I would have promised you that further on the live, I'm going to give some encouraging words, some strategies that you can put in place so you can start again. Okay, you can start again and do well on whatever you would have started in the past. All right, so number one, start small. So when you start again, start small. Okay, like the live as you come on, people. Thank you so much, and share it with someone. As you can see on screen, or in the title, we are looking at why people give up so easily or so soon after they would have started something in life, whether it's an account, a saving account, whether it's a YouTube channel, whether it's a small business, whether it's a new year resolution. We would have gone through some factors that would have caused persons to give up, and now we're looking on some solutions, and some, strategies that we can put in place to continue what we would have started. Because let me say this right here in the live, as I just remember, I would have started a YouTube channel over 20 years ago. And in that time, I did not know the benefit you could reap from YouTube. I just set it up and I think I posted one video and not having the knowledge. And guess what? I don't even know where that channel is. If I knew then what I know now, my channel would probably be at this point, maybe 2, 3 million subscribers. Maybe I would have been a millionaire, you know, if I knew then what I know now. Okay. So you learn as you go along. And in Jamaica, we say we learn from we mistake. All right. So let's go into some strategies now that you can, put in place to stay consistent with what you would have started until you start to see results. All right. So start small. You don't need to restart big. So for those who would have started and stopped, you're going to start again. Think about it. Start small. You don't have to restart big. You just need to restart honestly. Okay? Change the approach, not the dream. All right? So look at what you would have started, see how you approached it, and try to approach it in a different way. Okay? Do your researches, get advice. All right? Get advice from people, try different things, see what works. Okay, so change the approach, not the dream. Sometimes the dream isn't wrong, my viewers and subscribers. Sometimes the dream is wrong, just the method needs a little tweaking, a little adjustment. Okay, another thing you can do to be consistent in whatever you would have started is to replace motivation with discipline. All of us get motivated at the end of the year when we watch some fitness videos or some healthy lifestyle videos. We say, okay, I'm going to start to exercise 2026, and we are motivated and we're motivated and we're motivated. But guess what? As January come in, you start, you got up early in the morning, you do your jogs, and you feel good. What week 1, week 2, week 3, but by week 4, things start to fade. Because what? You're not as motivated as you were when you just started. But when you are disciplined, it is different. When you are disciplined, it is totally different. So replace my encouragement to you tonight on this live, replace motivation with discipline. Okay? Motivation comes and goes, discipline stays. Motivation comes and goes, discipline stays. And discipline pays off. Take it as me tell you. Discipline saves lives when you're disciplined. A matter of fact, when you're disciplined, you save money too. Okay? Discipline help you in so many ways. So replace motivation with discipline. Okay? Motivation comes and goes, discipline stays. Next thing, give yourself grace. Okay? Don't be too hard on yourself. Quitting doesn't make you a failure. Quitting doesn't make you a failure. Give yourself grace. Okay? Try again. Whatever you would have started and you got discouraged along the way and you give up too easily, I am encouraging you tonight on this live. Try again. Just tweak the method a little. Start smaller. Give yourself grace. And guess what? In no time, you will realize that you are here to stay. The first time I started, a matter of fact, when I started this YouTube channel, I said to myself, if other people can do it, I can do it also. That was one of my motivation. When I look and I would have seen persons who would have started their channel and I followed them along the way and I saw when they reach 1,000 subscribers, okay, and I saw when they did their monetization video, and I say to myself, if they can do it, I can do it too. And I'm sharing this with you. You just need to tell yourself that if any YouTuber made it on YouTube, you have the ability to do the same. Can I ask you to press like on the video as you come on and share it with someone? Why do people give up too soon, too easily? Look in the mirror, do some, what they call it now, motivate yourself, you know, give yourself grace. There's a particular verse of scripture that says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Negativity will come, but don't be too hard on yourself. Give yourself grace. If you fail, get up, brush off, and try again and again and again. No, this is a restart challenge. This is a restart challenge. Okay. If you quit before, here is my question. If you've ever quit before, if you have ever tried anything in the past and you would have quit, okay, this is my question to you. What if you try again, but differently this time? That's my question to you. What if you try again, but differently this time? Guess what? It's not perfect. It's not fast. All it needs is just consistency. All it needs is just consistency. Now, if this conversation is helping you, can I ask you to just like the live, share it with someone and subscribe. And the video will be there. The video will be there. I'm gonna leave the video here on YouTube. Matter of fact, this is my first live. And as I would have stated before, I'm gonna watch this live again and I'm gonna see the tweaks that I can make on the live and try to tweak the next live better and until I perfect my craft. And that is how anything you would have gone into. That is how life is. For those who can ride a bicycle, right? For those who can ride a bicycle, just jump on a bicycle and just start ride good, so don't it? Blessings to you. Welcome, welcome, welcome for those who are just coming on. All right, all right. Welcome, welcome. MacBean, yes. Is that Dion? Is that Dion MacBean? Sometimes I have challenge in pronouncing these names, but welcome. I realize MacBean at the end. Welcome. Oh, she said yes. All right. It's because I see the DIH. All right, that's the way you spell it. Welcome, welcome. Good to have you. Good to have you. Good to have you. Yes, man. So as I said in earlier in the live, you want to perfect your craft. When you just started out something, people will, and truth be told, it's not everybody going to like what you do. But let me tell you, your crowd is out there. Okay. And for example, if it's a YouTube channel, YouTube will push your video to the right audience. All you have to do is to be consistent. You know what I notice about YouTube now? A lot of, forgive me for saying this word, a lot of people don't like when you call them old, but a lot of older folks are now starting their YouTube channels, and they are doing great. And I'm sharing this with you. YouTube just want you to keep someone on your video for a length of time. And when YouTube algorithm picks that up, that someone is on your page for 30 seconds, for 60 seconds, for 2 minutes, that's what YouTube wants. Because guess what? YouTube get a percentage of the money you make. So the longer you keep people on your page, that benefits YouTube. And if YouTube sees that people are staying on your page, YouTube will go push your video. All right. So your thing might not be perfect. As I said, I'm gonna watch back this live and I'm gonna tweak it. I'm gonna try to make sure when I come again, it's gonna be better. All right, try to tweak. So if you bake a cake, when you bake the cake come out tough. If you cook something, when you cook it, it come out the rice soft. Or something. I mean, just try it again and try to correct the mistakes that you would have made previously. None of us is perfect. Okay. For example, even when I just started out this channel, up until now, and I'm gonna say this, up until now, I don't even know if I have found my niche, because I would have made several videos in several different categories, and I'm just looking to see what works. And when you find what works, then you continue down that road. For example, I attended a 9 night, what we call set up in Jamaica, 9 night the other day, and I captured it and I posted it. And right now it is one of the best streaming video on the channel. And then somebody would say, why you put 9 night on a motivational channel? But then guess what I say to myself? For example, here in Jamaica, we have, let me use TVJ and CVM, our two main local stations. I mean, you not only see peer news on TV, you not only see peer movies on TV. You get a little mixture of everything. You get a little sports, you get a little culture, you get a little weather, you get a little news, you get a little movies. So when you start out a YouTube channel, that's how you search for your niche. A lot of people would have started out in an ear. Some people start out with cooking. And guess what? Not a lot of people watching the cooking videos. You do have cooking channels in Jamaica that are doing extremely well, or Jamaicans overseas that are cooking. Yes, because they found their niche, they found their audience. YouTube send their videos down in that. But as you come out with one or two or three cooking video, it doesn't mean that your video are gonna just take off like that. You have to try and maybe try other things and try other things until you find your niche. Then you stick to that. All right. So what have you tried and I would have given up too soon? I encourage you, try again. Try again. But this time, tweak it. Try to change something that didn't work so well. All right. Is it better sound? When I just started out, my videos they didn't sound so 100, and even now they are not perfect, but I'm still perfecting the craft. It takes time until you get the right equipment. And to get the right equipment needs money. And money don't just come like that. But guess what? I'm not giving up. And I encourage you, if you would have started something, don't give up on it. Just be consistent. All right. So to everyone of you this evening who hear this, okay, you didn't fail because you stopped. If you would have started something and stopped, I want to encourage you tonight that guess what? When you stop, it wasn't because of failure. It wasn't because you failed. Okay? You only fail if you never started. You only fail if you have never started. Thank you, Chronicles. Thank you. I am trying. I am trying. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. So if you would have started something in the past and you failed, or you stopped, rather, you didn't stop because you failed. The only time when you fail is the time when you have never started. Okay. Some of us have some brilliant ideas in our head, but guess what? We are afraid of what people are going to say. And because of that fear, it cripples us. If you're on the live, and you have not pressed like as yet, can I ask you to press like? Can I ask you to share? Okay? A lot of people have brilliant ideas in their head, in their mind, in their thought. A matter of fact, a lot of people have brilliant ideas even written down. But they are saying, I don't know what people is going to say. What is my family going to say? What my friends are going to say? Okay? And for that reason, they don't start any at all. For that reason, they do not start any at all and have that. A matter of fact, some people even die and gone with a brilliant idea that could have benefited millions of people. But because of fear, that idea didn't come to fruition. Okay? But be motivated. Motivate yourself. Encourage yourself. Whatever your gift is, whatever your talent is, put it out there. Don't be afraid. YouTube will send it to the right audience if YouTube is what you're going to go on. You want to start a business, do the research. Okay? Find out what works. Watch those who are in the same field. Look at what they do and tell yourself they're a human being, you're a human being also. And if they do it, you can do it with God's help. Okay? Okay? All right, let me read some comments now. All right, so I'm seeing same here. I am not giving up at all, my friend. Please do not give up. Do not give up. And don't give up. Put your thing out there. Be consistent, as we would have mentioned above or further on in the live. Duplication of efforts. Take something that has already been done and make it better. Very good, Chronicles. I love that. Right? Take something that would have already done. Even if you watch some videos on YouTube, you can do the same thing, but just put a twist on it. Try to make it a little different. Try to make it a little better. And guess what? It will work. I guarantee you, it will work. And guess what? Not everybody is going to share ideas with you, Not everybody is going to give you suggestions because everybody does, well, not everybody, but some people is just me, myself, and I. Okay? But if you help somebody along the way, you don't know in the future that person can come around and help you. And not only that, even if that person is not the one who will help you, God will send somebody to help you because he would have seen how you would have helped somebody. Okay? So if you hear this tonight and you would have started something in the past and would have given up too soon, right? You didn't fail because you stop, okay? You only fail because you have never started, okay? You only fail because you have never started. My encouragement to you tonight, those who are on the live, start again, try again. Let me even touch relationship. Some people would have started, a relationship and had some bad experience or bad experiences and just decide, say, boy, me done with this and me done and me done and me done. And that's understandable. No one would want to be getting, hurt over and over and over. But you can try again, but this time be wise. Spend more time to observe, do your research, ask questions, and it applies to anything that we want to start. Okay. This has been just a thought. Thank you so much for being part of this live discussion tonight. Let me just recap before I close out, and I thank you. Words cannot express how grateful I am tonight for those who would have joined, those who would have participated in the chat, those who would have pressed like on the live. I am so appreciative. The topic we've observed tonight, why so many people quit so soon. I would have given my testimony. I would have started maybe 2 or 3 YouTube channels before this. I would have given up when I did not see the results. Okay, so I'm not here to pass judgment on anyone, but I'm just here to share my thoughts and hope we can, do better. And I would have given some factors that, would have caused persons to give up too easily. And we look at unrealistic expectations. When you have unrealistic expectations, you don't see the expectations coming in as you would have liked. It caused you to give up earlier than you plan to give up. All right. We looked at lack of consistency. We also looked at discouragement from people, discouragement from numbers. We look at poor time management, and we look at comparing yourself with others. Those are factors that have caused persons to give up too early, to give up too soon. And I would have said earlier in the live that sometimes the moment you give up is the moment your breakthrough is right around the corner. And since we've looked at factors that would have caused persons to give up, we also looked at some solutions that persons could put in place, to continue their desire, their craft, you know, their business, whatever you would have started. And we look at start again, start small this time. Okay, we look at changing the approach, but you're not changing the dream. We also look at replace motivation with discipline, because guess what? Motivation can go within the snip of a finger. You can be demotivated, but when you are disciplined, it carries you a long way. All right, I see the light on the mic blinking. Now, next time I make sure that I charge up fully before I start. So before the mic goes, thank you everyone for joining the live tonight. As Chronicle just says, let's grow together, let's support each other. Thank you so much. Enjoy yourself wherever you are. Look out for future lives that are coming up, and press like on the video before you go. Share it with someone even after the live is finished. Until next time, stay safe, walk good,